What is going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. It is Friday. It's time for a little bit of a T3 watch rant. And I have to kick this one off by saying I'm sorry. I apologize. It will not happen again. I think I had a lot of people clutching their pearls because of something that I posted this morning. Now, yesterday, we didn't do a show. And it's because I finally got motivated and kind of healthy enough. I felt good enough to finally trigger a restock on the shop, at the Time Teller shop. And, there's a whole lot of things that kind of need to not fall into place, but need to be coordinated in order to get things up. And, the photos, the editing, the bios, the pricing, like yada, 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 having everything inspected before it goes live. And yes, in fact, we do have a restock over at the shop. We have some incredible watches, very, very affordably priced. But one of the watches that was there this morning was my Seiko Tuna. Yes, this one right here, the beloved Tuna. We're going to be talking about this. This rant is going to be talking about this and why I listed it for sale and why it upset so many people. So it is 1:36 p.m. Let's get down to business. So, okay, what happened to where I would actually sell one of my personal watches like that Tuna? Well, it's not that I've fallen out of love with this. In fact, I love this watch very much. I think this is probably one of the best, if not the best, true dive watches ever made. But here's the thing. I just got engaged, right? And Sammy has been persistent about buying me a watch that can signify the occasion, right? She wants to make that memory with me, and I'm very, very flattered. And the thing is, I don't want her spending like that money on me, but it kind of got some wheels turning in my head about like what watch I want and what I could get myself. And the first one that came to mind was a Tuna. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, T3, you have a Tuna. But there's another Tuna that I've spoken about pretty much since the beginning of my channel, and that is the coveted spring drive Tuna. This already I would consider to be a very expensive Seiko. This MSRP on this was like $1,300. That's a pretty penny, right? But the MSRP back in 2013 on that spring drive Tuna, the SBDB 008, and actually I have it pulled up here. I will show you. Actually, that's Sammy texting me right now. The SBDB 008. This was like just over $3,000. Let me see. I think they have it listed. Yeah, $3,900. So just under $4,000. So this was definitely a pretty penny back then. I started my channel in 2017. I definitely did not have that kind of dough back then. You know what I mean? And still, like, that's a significant chunk of change. Now, I'm gonna blame Sammy. Okay, I'm gonna blame Sammy. So in my head, I'm like, well, I don't want her spending like money on me like this, but like, what's a watch that I could get myself? What's something that like I really, really want? And I was like, well, that spring drive Tuna, and perhaps I could unload my Tuna and eventually, put that towards this like holy grail spring drive Tuna, because this has essentially a non-decorated, it literally has a non-decorated Grand Seiko movement in it. Well, a few of you guys wrote to me and they're like, I cannot believe that you would sell your Tuna. You built your channel on your Tuna. And a couple people commented on the actual sales post. And then Sammy texted me. She's like, I do not want you selling that watch. And so then it got me thinking, you know what? I think my collection's big enough as it is. Why can't I have 2 tunas, right? So the offer's been rescinded. I'm not selling my tuna, so can we all get a round of applause in the chat? I have decided, in fact, to keep this watch because I really do truly love this watch, and like whatever, dude, I'll just have 2 tunas, and one will have the 7C46 movement, which is very cool and arguably, not really even arguably, just factually more resilient than the movement that is in that spring drive movement. But yeah, I can also have like a really high-end, cool, very smooth, impressive movement in that, you know, I think some people call it the golden tuna, although there is an old, like, vintage tuna that's also referred to as the golden tuna, so whatever. This one's like the holy grail of tunas, in my opinion. So, what is this whole video about? Okay? By the way, we have a super chat. Thank you so much, Tanner Smith. Hey, Jory, just inherited a 1970 Seiko and old pocket watch from my grandfather. Any tips on finding a good place to get them serviced? I would write to TikTok Watch Repairs. They are my watchmaker, and they work on all my watches. If you go into all my videos, okay, all of my videos, in the description, there's a link to my watchmaker. You can click it, you can fill out a form, and if you put that you are a friend of mine, which you can say I'm a friend of the time teller, they hook you up. Okay, so I would write to them. They're who I recommend, and they're who I work with personally. And I'm not even getting paid for that. I just love those guys. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this is because while those wheels were turning and churning, I was thinking, like, what are the watches that I want? Because I review watches, I talk about watches, I complain about watches, and we're going to go over multiple price ranges of watches that I've decided are, like, on my list. I finally have, like, a hit list, so to speak. To the FBI agent who watches all my content, I'm not talking about an actual hit list. I'm talking about a list of watches that I want to purchase. Just let me make that clear. All right, so first things first, let's look at a sub $500 watch, okay? This is a sub $500 watch that I have been obsessed with, and I just have not pulled the trigger on it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I sold my kidney to buy an engagement ring recently, but this is an awesome ProMaster. Oh my gosh, the Land ProMaster Land U822. ProMaster Land U822. Really cool analog digital kind of display here. Very, I would say this is the most symmetrical layout for this kind of busyness. Does that make sense, chat? Like, it is by no means a super duper clean dial. There's a whole lot going on. But this is the most presentably, or I should say, presentable, appealing, easy to read presentation of this kind of busyness. It's very, very functional. I love that kind of bead blasted finish. I like the coated black bezel. I like the matte black dial. I love the big, broad handset. I love this digital display. I love the knurling on the crowns and pushers, and it's just incredibly functional. It's like it's an eco-drive Citizen. How can you do better than that when it comes to like a tough, functional watch, right? So this is this is like my pick for like a sub $500 watch that I would want to add to my collection. Okay, let's bump up a price point. So we did sub 500. You can find these brand new for just under 500. What about like above 1,000? So we're not going too far above 1,000, but let's look like what's above this, because I'm sure I could find something maybe in the $1,000 range. But like the next thing up, and this might shock you guys, a North Flag. The Tudor North Flag, like, look, and I don't know any of the sellers that I am referencing here, but you can find these for in the 2000s like all day. And this is such an unsung hero of Tudor's prior catalog. It's, threaded crown, 100-meter water resistance rating, flat, sharp. It is kind of it was doing this before integrated bracelets were all the rage, right? Because it is an integrated bracelet. But I've worn these, incredibly comfortable bracelet, incredibly comfortable to wear. Really nice louvered cut date window. I think the only way they could have made this better is if they color match the date. I love the Power Reserve. I know some people don't like that. I like the broad arrow hour hand. This is kind of like if you took a Tudor Ranger, or dare I say a Rolex Explorer, and you like injected it with modern technology, and you made it like it did the Transformers roll out, or Autobots, whatever, like that type of thing. It's like it's like a very modern Tudor Ranger, or again, naughty Rolex Explorer. Here, perhaps now, is going to be the most controversial pick of today's list. I cannot believe I'm doing this. That's right. It's like back-to-back Tudors on my list, which is wild. But for just above that, in the 3000s, all day, in pristine condition, these Black Bay chronographs are awesome. The only thing I don't like is this stupid snowflake hand, but I mean, whatever, dude, just change the handset. I think that this is really dumb because having such a broad hour hand on a watch that has sub-registers was just a very confusing like design choice, because for like hours at a time, you're obscuring large, like more of the sub-registers than you would have to. So it's just kind of strange. But aside from that, I can look past that. This is like so much watch for the money. It's insane. It's an automatic Swiss chronograph, chronometer certified, with a beautiful 6 o'clock date. You're getting the threaded crown, threaded pushers. Like, I know that some people are like, oh, this is the poor man's Daytona. But here's the thing. I wear my watches because I enjoy wearing watches. I don't care that this isn't a Daytona. If I wanted a Daytona, I would find a way to like save up or make enough money to buy a Daytona. Like, this, I think, is something else. I think this is a real watch enthusiast's sports chronograph. I think that this is incredible. And I think it has two faults. Okay, these have two faults. One, the snowflake hand, which I just brought up. Two is that they do wear fairly large if you have slender wrists. Now, I don't have that problem, so I think that it works for me, right? But yeah, this dude in the 3000s in like pristine condition, that's crazy. And if you like the white dial black register, then go crazy with that one too. Like, you have options. I love these. I think that, and again, I think it's very naughty because this is a Black Bay technically, and I hate Tudor Black Bays, but this is great. Okay. So now we get above that, and you can find these in the high 4s all the way into the 6s, but if you're paying $6,000, then you're an idiot. we now do get into the Seiko Spring Drive Tuna range. Okay, again, if you're paying $6,000 or above, you're an idiot. Find a different listing. If you can find one in the mid to high fours, then you're doing pretty good. Most likely, you will find it in the low fives. Okay, this is a great watch. I've only held one in my hand once. And from that point on, I was like, holy crap, I want one very badly. Will this hold its value like a Rolex? No. Because this is from a time when Seiko was making watches for watch enthusiasts. Seiko, back in 2013, Seiko was not a collectible, investing type of watchmaker. They're still not, to be clear. Although, that's what they wish they were now, right? This is from an era that they were overperforming. So think about it. $3,900 back in 2013 got you a Grand Seiko movement with spring drive, a 600-meter water resistance rating with a shroud, a crazy loom, crazy loom. It's an insane watch. It's an insane watch. And this is back from when they were perfectly fine, over-offering, over-performing. Gone are the days of that. But, whatever. So, we're looking probably, I'm going to say an average of $5,000 for this. What about just above that? Because we're not stopping here, okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. This isn't even the best picture set of this watch. But, dude, I remember, how many of you were here when I made a video, or perhaps it was a live stream, talking about this watch? When they announced this 2 years ago, I freaked the F out. This bronze gold, I don't care about it being, a proprietary alloy that we have invented at Omega. I don't care. Dude, broad arrow hour hand, awesome sandwich dial with that kind of faux patination, which is very warm, and it works perfectly with the chocolate bezel, chocolate dial. Has a 150 meter water resistance rating, I think. No, 300, obviously. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. It's a Seamaster 300. Coaxial movement, dude. This is an awesome watch. And you can find them in the 8,000s. So this is above that. If there was one thing I would put in between this, okay, would be that Cartier dive watch, not the Pasha. Oh, the stream lagged. Sorry. YouTube, it's 50-50. They sometimes do it. Don't worry. You can still see my screen. So yeah, this I would put maybe the Cartier dive watch in between the Spring Drive Tuna and this, but still, we're back. Peace. But this is an incredible option. You can find these even less expensive than this, actually, in very, 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 very good condition. So I think that this is awesome. I think that this is a stunner of a watch. Has the vintage aesthetic. Has the Omega coaxial movement. It's incredible. I think this is super underrated. And guess what? The reason you can find these very inexpensive, well, $8,000 is not inexpensive. But the reason that this is so accessible for what you get, it being a precious metal Omega, is because these were not popular. These just simply were not popular. Dr. Bob's Nightmare says, might be your camera jewelry time to upgrade. I don't think so, because this is a Sony a7 IV. I have absolutely not. This is one of the newest cameras that Sony makes in the Alpha line. But anyway, moving on. Next up, Wait. Hold on. I messed up. This Omega was supposed to be after this. My bad. Okay, forget that I showed you the Omega. Under the Omega, okay, I would say that a 36 millimeter Explorer, Rolex Explorer, dude, you can find these in the 5,000s. 36 millimeters is the sizing that you should get anyway. None of this 39. Don't mess with dude. Oyster cases, if you're going 40 millimeters, keep it a slim lug Submariner. Don't go above that. It's stupid. Okay? 36 mil is how the Explorer was meant to be worn anyway, regardless of your wrist size. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. This is like an incredible watch for $5,000. It is awesome. It is such an horologically significant, cool piece of adventure history. I have an Explorer 2, so I think that having a Rolex Explorer, or as some people call it, the Explorer 1, I think that would round out my collection very nicely. And this is, I've always wanted an Explorer, right? I've always wanted an Explorer. It's just, like, when it comes to traditional field watches, if you're a true field watch head, it's you gotta have one in your collection. So that's something. Above that, obviously, we just spoke about the Omega. But what about above that? So now we're already in the $8,000 range. And again, you can find these for less. But what about above that? You already know. You already know. I don't care what people say. These are underappreciating. They are underappreciated. And the ones that are currently in production with that stupid 41 millimeter case are depreciating. Last week, I think it was, we went on watch charts and I showed you that for some reason these two-tone Rolexes in the current production catalog are depreciating. The market price is lower than MSRP. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. The ADs are mad. Not really, because they sold them all to gray market sellers. So they don't really care. But, yeah, so anyway, this is a 40 millimeter slim lug, two-tone bluesy. I absolutely love. I'm sorry. I don't know how you put that on and not feel like a 1980s like CEO. And I know it's not like the solid gold. They did have a blue dial, blue bezel, solid gold Submariner, but there's something about the two-tone that's like so sporty, dude. It's awesome. Get them for around 10K. Bada bing, bada boom. Mr. Worldwide wanna step in the room. I think that this is an awesome watch. So we've kind of rounded out the collection on a spectrum, the gamut of price ranges. So yeah, sub 500, gotta go with the ProMaster. Above that, Tudor North Flag. Above that, this awesome Tudor Black Bay Chrono. Above that, the holy grail of Seiko tunas. Above that, a 36 mil Rolex Explorer. Above that, bronze gold Omega Seamaster 300. Above that, an awesome two-tone bluesy, baby. 40 mil. None of this 41 millimeter BS. And hey, if you want to pick yourself up something nice, go ahead, check out the Time Teller shop. We have a bunch of really cool watches. We have this really beautiful vintage Patek Philippe. But yeah, check it out. We actually have a cool Citizen Eco Drive. So jump on that site and support the shop. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. And always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Love you. I'm going to go over to my podcast. So catch me over there. Bye-bye.